My name is I Make Beats and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about the 1.5 update and fixes, the Polyend tracker workflow, creating templates using fills, randomization, and games. So with that being said, let's get this started. Okay, so let's start off with the update. The tracker can now save separate instruments with all their settings. This new feature allows the ability to import those instruments to other projects you're working on. That is cool. Okay, number two, let's talk about games. So after updating to the 1.5 firmware, I decided to test out my theory to see if other NES ROMs could be loaded, and my hunch was right. Now I believe that as long as you have the 1.3 firmware or higher, you should be able to add other games, but just to be on the safe side, I suggest you install the latest 1.5. Here are a few of the games that I was able to add. I will have a link to the website that you can download them from in the description. So it was pretty much trial and error, figuring out which ones would work and which ones didn't. But at least you know the ones that I have do work. Okay, number 3, let's talk about templates. So like all standalone gear, including the Polyend tracker, the MPC-1, the Machine Plus, the Black Box, the SP16, when you turn these devices on, they're blank. They have nothing there. So what I recommend and what I've done is I've created a template. So if I go into File and open Projects, you can see here that I have a startup template. And basically what I've done to help streamline my workflow is I created a template and I've named all the tracks already. So it makes it a lot easier to know where I'm going to put each sound, and also the levels on the tracks have kind of already been set based off of previous songs that I've made. I kind of know how loud the kick drum should be. I know how loud the shaker should be, and so forth and so on. And of course this can change over time, but it's nice to have a standard, you know, foundation so that you're not sitting here naming all your tracks, looking for all your sounds. And that's the next one. I recommend that in your template, you just start off with the basic. Have a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, close hi-hat. And that way you can kind of just get right into creating your thought or your musical concept. And then you can later go back and change that kick or snare or hi-hat or whatever. But the point is you're not wasting a lot of time looking for sounds. That to me is one of the pet peeves for my workflow. I find it easier to just get the idea out, get it in there, and then I can go back later and tweak each individual sound to my liking. So as you can see, I was able to go right in there, drop a nice drum pattern in there, and I can progress and just keep moving forward. Once I get my foundation there, my sound down, I can always go back, change the kick, change the snare, and so forth and so on. So again, I believe that templates are the way to go. They kind of get you started. Your tracks are already named, your volume levels are already set. Then you can go in later, like I just did the hi-hats and stuff. You can pan them the way you want, but the main thing is getting that sound, getting that idea down, so you're not sitting around wasting time looking for sounds and doing all this other stuff. To me, that is counterproductive. Okay, so the next topic that I want to talk about is using fills and randomizing your sound, be it a shaker, a hi-hat, or even a melodic instrument like a single note. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you guys saw that I entered the hi-hats in live or manually, but the Polyend tracker has a fill function, which I think is really, really dope. So let's go ahead and start from the top here. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Oops. Go ahead and erase this. I'm glitching here. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and get this all highlighted. All right, and then we're just going to delete it. All right, and we know that the hi-hat is on the third pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to place a hi-hat. Now I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to highlight the whole row. Also, I'm going to change the step jump. So I want it to be every second step. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the fill button, and now over here I can select random, how much density. I'm going to leave it at 50%, and we want it to over here to also be random. Then you can set it constant or from and to, but we're just going to do random because that's kind of what we're talking about here. And then we're going to select the hi-hat and the from and to, just to be on the safe side. And then we're just going to hit fill. Now look what it did. It filled it and it made it random. So now listen to the hi-hat pattern. I honestly believe that that can add an instant character to your sound. Of course, we know we can do it manually, but I could have saved that first pattern that I made and then copied the pattern to another pattern and then deleted the hi-hat and then let it do a randomized pattern. So then I could switch between the patterns with my own hi-hat style and the fill random style. So again, talking about workflow and just kind of getting into your beat, the fill function is a plus. Well, I hope this was helpful to someone. I'm going to stick with it and tighten this all up. Be sure to check the description for links to the game website, as well as the link to the Polyend tracker website, where you can get the 1.5 updated firmware, as well as the instrument folder. Until next time, this is I Make Beats.